Just to introduce myself, I'm Mike Turner. I'm an executive director of Ian Williams, and Ian Williams are one of the UK's largest maintenance providers operating within the social housing, education and commercial property sectors. And we deliver across England and Wales responsive repairs, cyclical maintenance and planned improvement projects by our directly employed teams. Nick mentioned the impact of culture and values, and that was something that I wanted to talk about as well, actually, because our strategy is founded upon the principle that if we look after our employees, and they'll look after our customers, and more succinctly put, to be a company loved by its employees and customers. And as a housing maintenance provider and large employer, the impact of the pandemic, of course, has been very profound. Prior to the pandemic, we'd spent a considerable amount of time and effort working with our employees to create a culture needed to deliver our strategy. So when the pandemic began, our employees trusted us with respect to the actions we then took. And trust, as we know, is very important when you're experiencing rapid change. Of course, we are more reliant upon technology now as we are working remotely. However, again, the switch was fairly seamless and we didn't experience any significant disruption. And the impact that this had on our culture has also not been significant either. So bringing up the point again that Nick mentioned about culture and values. You would have expected also our responsive repairs national call centre in Birmingham to have experienced teething issues as our team moved to working from home. But again, this didn't happen. The only problem we did experience, that I'm sure others did as well, was sourcing laptops for those that didn't have one. But again, this was a short-lived issue. Flexible and remote working, I think, is here to stay. So we plan to further invest in technology in the future to take advantage of the many benefits that digitization and communications technology can provide. This brings me to the very important issue of communication during the pandemic, which again, I think Sheila talked about. During the period, we formally communicated to everyone in the business, including those furloughed, on a weekly basis, providing updates on what was happening and providing advice and guidance as the ever-changing situation unfolded. And at the start, we took the decision to reduce our service level to that of emergency or urgent repairs, and furloughed the majority of our employees, ensuring that their pay was topped up to 80% if they were below the government threshold. It's interesting to note that team communication remained at a fairly constant level, but leadership team communication directly with individual employees considerably increased. And we also found that customer communication increased as well. So, Nick was talking about, the conversations that you were having with your service providers. We found this exactly the same thing, that communication with our customers through MS Teams and Zoom, and the quality of those communication, the immediacy of it was also really good. And it leads you to reflect on, traveling 4 hours for a 30-minute meeting may not be a very good idea, really. And there are probably much more productive and efficient ways of managing communication going forward. Our leadership team, we've increased the frequency of our meetings, and we have a remote catch-up every Friday, wherever we happen to be. And this has also been very beneficial in ensuring that we share information regularly and together. We have less one-to-ones. It's more a group conversation about what we're doing, and therefore collective decision making has improved. And again, very important when events are moving quickly, and being able to respond to that in the right way. Returning to our employees, we began an employee opinion survey before the pandemic, and then we halted it, but we had the results, and then we decided more recently to complete another one. Now, as virtually all of our employees have returned to work from furlough, and the results have been very interesting. The Employee Net Promoter Score, or NPS, has significantly increased. It was at +17, it's now increased to +33 during the period of the pandemic. For those not familiar with the NPS, it's in effect the response to the question, would you recommend Ian Williams as an employer to your family or a friend? So in summary, although the pandemic has been an enormous challenge for Ian Williams, we've managed to ensure that our strategy of looking after our people has not only been maintained, but it's been enhanced. And this, we think, will ensure we continue to satisfy our customers and grow profitably as a consequence. And that means that we'll be able to provide a sustainable future for everyone.